Hey y'all, Bianca here. Welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not doing a tutorial today. Instead, we're doing kind of an impromptu Q&A session that I just wanted to do to answer some of the questions that I've been getting. Now I've been getting a lot of questions on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, just asking me about my natural hair journey, what products and processes worked for me. And I tried to respond to everyone, I promise I did, but it started to get a little bit overwhelming. So I figured this is a better way to answer all of your questions, and that way everyone can get the information. Now y'all will have to excuse me, I know I'm looking a hot mess, but I really wanted to get this video out as soon as possible because I didn't want you guys to think that I wasn't answering any of your questions. So just bear with me, okay? I'm thugging it out today. So I do want to start off by saying that you guys definitely put me to work with some of these questions. You guys asked very specific questions and want very specific answers. But I was able to do a little digging and find some of the things that I've used and processes that I've tried over the years. And hopefully this information helps someone out. So I will start by giving you a brief history of my natural hair journey. So one question that I did get asked a lot was, did I ever get frustrated throughout the journey? Did I ever think about quitting? Did I ever think about giving up? And the answer to that question is yes, absolutely. Not only did I think about quitting, I did quit twice before I decided to stick with it. So the first time that I tried to go natural was in 2011. I was still in college at the time. So I tried to go natural and I think it lasted about 2 months. And I was like, oh no, my hair looks a hot mess. Like, called my beautician, made an appointment, got a relaxer the next week. So I kept that relaxer for about 7 months or so, maybe a year. And I was like, okay, I really want to try it again. I think I can do it this time. So I started to transition this time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to not put any heat on my hair and just slowly transition. I tried the perm rollers, the perm rods, the roller sets, but got frustrated again, was like, okay, my hair looks a hot mess again. But instead of perming it this time, I actually had a really great flat iron. So I was just straightening my hair on a regular basis. And I mean, I straightened my hair so much that it was so heat damaged that it was basically straight. It was like I had a perm. So I did that for several years until finally I was like, hey, I want to try this again. I'm going to do it without heat. I'm not going to put any heat on my hair. And I did that for about 3 months and I immediately saw a change in my hair texture. I was like, wow, my whole hair texture has changed. So I went about 4 months of wearing braids, box braids, protective styles, and when I finally took my braids out, I noticed that I had about 1 inch or 2 of new growth, you know, completely different texture, but I was like so over transitioning that I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I muscled up the courage and did the big chop. And I will say that that was the best decision that I ever made. Cutting my hair off, starting over, I was just excited about it. I was ready to try different products, different things, and I think if I hadn't have cut it all off, I probably would have ran into the same problem with transitioning and gave up on it again. So my first hint, and I'm iffy about telling people this because I hear a lot of backlash from people's like, stop telling people to cut their hair, stop telling people to cut their hair. If you don't feel comfortable cutting your hair or transitioning works for you, definitely do it. But for me, I failed at the transitioning twice, so the big chop was what I had to do to really get that kick, that boost to really start on my natural hair journey. So another question that I got asked was, how was the first year? How did I see so much growth in the first year? And I will say that the first year for me was the year when I did see the most growth, but I don't know if that was just because I had cut my hair so short and I could see that it had grown, or if it's because I was doing all the right things, but I'm doubting it's the latter. So I did use a ton of natural hair products in that first year. I honestly couldn't even tell you guys all the different things I used because I was just trying things out. I'd probably be at the beauty supply every week just picking up stuff and trying it and trashing it, you know. But what I did do consistently for the first year was I took hair vitamins and I also took biotin. Now the biotin, I got it at Walmart. It comes in a jar about this size. You can get it for about $6. That really does help stimulate hair growth. And I also used hair vitamins that I ordered, and I actually found a bottle of them, and it's the Millie Organics. I ordered these offline. I don't remember the price. I want to say they were maybe like $25 for 60 tablets. And so I took these faithfully for a good 8 months to a year. Now I think I was supposed to be taking 2 tablets a day. I did do that for a while, but then I kind of fell off, started going to 1 tablet, so eventually I just stopped taking them all together. As you can see, I still have a whole bottle. But I do feel that these did work for me. I'm not saying you need to use these brand. A lot of the hair vitamins have the same ingredients. I would just do some research on them, see what's cost efficient, and go with that. But I definitely recommend a hair vitamin. I definitely do feel that these helped my hair growth, so I definitely say go for those. The first year I also did a lot of deep conditioning. It was almost every time that I washed my hair, I deep conditioned it. And what's funny is when I had a perm, I hated deep conditioning my hair. I'm like, oh, it's more time in the beauty shop, more time into the dryer. But once I went natural, I would just, wake up, wash my hair, deep condition it, sit on the dryer. I say at least 30 minutes to really just stimulate your roots. And then once you rinse out the deep conditioning, I mean, your hair is just soft like a baby. I could definitely tell the difference in my hair texture when I deep conditioned my hair and when I did not. I also slept with a bonnet, silk bonnet to be exact, faithfully. Now that's something that I don't do as much as I should anymore, but I can definitely tell you that when I did do it, when my hair was shorter, I could definitely wake up, hair still shining, looking beautiful, not going this way or that way. So I definitely recommend getting a bonnet. It's a habit that I fell out of that I definitely am going to get back into because I do feel that it helped me. Another tool that I use is actually a little trick that I got from a friend of mine who was also natural at the time. So what I would do, I would go to the beauty supply and purchase all these little oils. This is olive oil, this is argan oil, grapeseed oil, tea tree oil. I think I purchased like one of every one. They are about $1.50, and I would put them all into a big applicator bottle and use this to grease my scalp. Now I still use this, not as much as I used to, but just, one day if you're on your way out the door, your hair is looking a little dry or your scalp is just feeling a little flaky, I just go in with this and kind of grease my scalp and then massage it in. And I mean, this really, really helped me, and it really kept my hair, it gave it that shiny look. Now the thing about having short hair is that you don't want it to look dry and crusty, so you definitely want to deep condition, moisturize, but this just gives it that added shine. So this bottle, I mean, I still do it to this day. And I mean, you could do there was no specific combination I did. I probably got different oils every time, and I would just fill the bottle up. And like I said, these run about $1.50 at the beauty supply. So this is one of my favorite ways to grease my scalp, and I still do it to this day. Now, a lot of people ask me how many inches my hair grew per year or centimeters per month. Now, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that. I was not one of the people that kind of kept track of that, but some things that I have seen and friends of mine that are also natural, things I know they have done that may help you. If you see, they sell those t-shirts that have kind of like the measurements on the back. I love that idea. Wish I had it. So you can use that to measure your hair growth if you're wanting to know how much your hair is growing. I think it's really beneficial for people who are kind of getting discouraged just to see the growth. Also, something that I did do once a year, I did go get my hair silk pressed. I did it because I would get my ends trimmed, number one, and number two, that was a way for me to put a visual on how long my hair had grown. And you know, when your hair is natural and in its natural state, you can't always see how much is grown. So for me, getting it straightened once a year was kind of exciting. You know, you got to have like a couple days with the, you know, old, fresh out of the beauty salon look, and then you could also see how much your hair had grown. So, I mean, if you're one of the people that are really into like wanting to know how much is growing, your inches, your centimeters, I say definitely get a ruler, take lots of pictures, get the shirt, and that's the best way to track your growth. I didn't do that. I wish I would have, but I would say for me, the once a year around the same time straightening really helped me to see my hair growth. So the next question that I got was about trims and haircuts. Now, I'm a firm believer in clipping those dead ends off. Your curls will flourish more. They'll be more vibrant. Your hair won't shed as much. So yes, trim those ends. If you don't trust anyone else to do it yourself. But I definitely think it's beneficial. So one comment that I got that actually is pretty funny to me, someone said, how did she go from a 4C to a 4A? And I thought it was funny because it's actually very true. My hair texture did change, and I noticed it. When my hair was shorter, when I first cut it off, I felt that it was more of a 4C, more of a coarser texture. And so that's when I was just really into, you know, the conditioning, the combing out, the styling, the twist outs, things like that. But over the years, I did see as my hair got longer, the curls got a little bit looser, a little bit more defined even, and it really did change. I don't have any explanation for that. I guess Mother Nature, gravity, I don't know, genetics, but yes, you are correct that my hair texture did change. No, that picture was not Photoshopped. That was me. That was all my hair. But I just figured I'd address that. And I did see in the comments that a lot of people did say that they noticed that throughout their natural hair journey. So I think that's just part of the journey. Your hair texture may change as your hair grows. You know, you use different products, things like that. So no answer for that. Sorry. But to answer your question, yes, it did change. I don't know why. So another question I got asked was in regards to heat. And one thing I will say about me is I am anti-heat, especially any type of direct heat. I go get my hair straightened once a year. That's just something that I always will continue to do. But on a regular basis, I don't put any heat in my hair. Now, I know some people that do, and their curls retain, you know, their texture. It doesn't damage their curls. But for me, one thing when I did initially go natural that I did notice, once I stopped putting heat on my hair, my texture just completely changed, and I was so here for it. I became so anti-heat, and I guess that still kind of holds true today. I don't like putting heat on my hair. I don't put heat on my hair. I will sit under the dryer, that I will do, but as far as flat ironing, blow drying, curl and iron, I don't really apply any direct heat to my hair. I will say, even when I do go get my silk press and get my hair straightened, once it starts to frizz up, I just kind of get out the rollers, you know, try to push it as long as possible, but I do not flat iron my hair. I don't apply heat to my hair. So I do think that has helped me over the years. But again, you know, it depends on what look you're going for. The good thing is that I have seen so many ways that you can straighten your hair without heat, that I would just kind of research some of those stretching methods that would help you apply less heat to your hair, avoid damaging your curls and or your curl pattern, and having to start over, because I do know that I have heard a lot of people who said that heat damage is a reason why they had to restart their natural hair journey. But you know, do it at your discretion. Just be smart. If you are going to put heat on your hair, use heat protectant, things like that. But for me, to answer your question, I straighten my hair once a year, and that's pretty much it. I'm the anti-heat girl. So another question that I got asked was in regards to my daily hair care routine. Now, I will say it does depend on what style I'm wearing, but whatever style I do decide to wear, let's say, for example, I'm wearing high buns this week, I will try to keep that same style for a week, if not longer. I don't like to, rewash, recomb, restyle my hair too frequently because I do notice the shedding and the breakage, things like that. So if I put my hair in a style, I try to keep that style for at least a week or two. That just minimizes, the combing, the brushing. It actually saves you time as well. So I just say push your styles out as much as possible. If you do a twist out and the twist out's getting old, don't immediately rush to wash it and, retwist it, restyle it. I would just say try to restyle it dry, see what you can come up with. And honestly, that's how I've come up with some of my more creative hairstyles, just kind of sitting in the mirror like, what am I about to do with this head? So yeah, just, push your hairstyles out, try to stay out of your hair as much as possible, as far as like combing and restyling. Now, one of the most popular questions I got was in regards to what products I'm using as far as like washing, shampooing, conditioner. Now, I honestly cannot tell you all the shampoos and conditioners I've used over the years. I'm sorry, that's just impossible. But for at least the last year and a half, I have been using the same brand and I live by it. Just public service announcement, they do not sponsor me. This is not an ad. This is actually what I use and what works for me. And so here is the Cream of Nature with Argan Oil brand. And I use it for really many different purposes. So I do not shampoo my hair often. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I shampoo my hair maybe once a month or less. It just kind of depends. But I use the shampoo because I do find when I put lots of gels in my hair, it gets very dirty, very sticky. So I do use their shampoo for my wash and goes. I also use their conditioner, same brand, Cream of Nature with Argan Oil. I will say sometimes I use the conditioner as a leave-in treatment. I don't always wash it out. Number one, because it just smells so good. I love smelling it throughout the day. But I do find that it really keeps my hair soft, and I like to just leave the conditioner and let it set for a day or so, especially if I'm not able to do a deep conditioning treatment. So I also use same brand Cream of Nature with Argan Oil. This is the leave-in hair milk, and I use this more so for my detangling session. So I detangle my hair dirty and dry before I wash it. So this is what I live by for that. But really, I found any conditioner helps with detangling and oils. So I detangle dry, get it all combed out, plait it up, and then I wash my hair. I also use the Cream of Nature Twist and Curl Pudding. Now, this stuff, when my hair was short, I could go through a jar of it in like a week. This with my Denman brush, which is about $2 at the beauty supply. I did put the curl pudding in my hair, comb through it with the Denman brush, and when my hair was shorter, I used it a lot to do my finger coils. It just gave my hair, when it didn't have any curl definition, a more defined look. So I lived by this for at least the first 2 years to give my hair just some curl pattern because it really didn't have any. Now, as far as prices, because I know you guys want to know prices, the curl pudding is about $7 at the beauty supply, and the shampoo, conditioner, and hair milk goes for about $4.99, so about $5. So not too expensive. It does last a while. And like I said, that's just what's been working for me now. So that's just kind of what I've been living by. One other thing that I did want to share, because they were talking about as far as like curl setting, I originally was using gel. So I'd wash my hair, put the conditioner in, run my fingers through it. Once I got a defined curl pattern, I would use gel to kind of set the curls and make it hard, and then also use the diffuser. But I found that the gel would get my hair kind of sticky and kind of just heavy, and then it'd be like all on the back of my neck, and that was driving me nuts. So instead, now I use mousse. Yes, mousse. No specific brand. I mean, these These are two different brands that I have that I've used. I got these, I think, from Kroger for about $4, but I like the mousse just because it's lighter and it dries quicker and it doesn't have that sticky texture. So, you know, for my wash and goes, I use mousse instead of gel now. Of course, I still use gel and edge control to lay those edges down, but I do like just the airy lightness of the mousse, so that's what I use to kind of define my curls with my wash and goes. Now, as I stated before, these are just a couple of things that worked for me over the years. Do not live by this. This is not the Bible of natural hair. This is just what worked for me. Just remember that everyone's healthy natural hair journey is different, and part of the fun of this process is going through the journey, trying different processes, trying different products. But I definitely hope that some of these tips helped you guys. I definitely hope I answered everyone's questions. If not, feel free to comment, DM me, write me, whatever. I will definitely get back to you. I just got a lot of questions asked, more than I was expecting, so I started responding a little slower, so I do apologize for that. But I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the engagement. If you guys need anything else, have any more questions, definitely let me know. And don't forget to hit subscribe before you sign out of here. Thanks, guys. Bye.